Welcome to Every Fact Ever. Like and subscribe for more amazing facts. My name's Ian and this is 50 facts about iron, written by Sinclair. Fact number 1. On the periodic table, iron is known as Fe, and its atomic number is 26. An atomic number tells us how many protons and electrons are in an atom. In this example, iron has 26 protons and electrons. Fact number 2. Iron is the fourth most abundant element in the universe. Its mass accounts for 5% of the overall mass of the Earth. In comparison, the most abundant element is oxygen, which makes up 46.6% of the Earth's mass. Fact number 3. Although it's competent at conducting electricity and heat, it's nowhere near as good as copper and aluminium. Copper and the aluminium alternatives are used because they have other benefits, like copper being resilient to corrosion. Fact number 4. Steel is made from 98 to 99.9% iron, plus 0.2 to 2% of carbon. The addition of the carbon makes a huge difference to the strength of the steel. Steel can be around 1,000 times stronger than iron in its purest form. Fact number 5. The Iron Age is literally what the name suggests. This prehistoric time was when men crafted useful tools and weapons from iron and steel for the very first time. According to historians, this happened around the 12th century BC in ancient Greece and the 6th century BC in northern Europe. Fact number 6. For as long as people can remember, iron has been used. Although many will assume it's used for weapons, iron was also used for making cooking appliances. Cast iron pots were really common years ago and are still popular today, but they are quite pricey. Fact number 7. Magnetospirillum magneticum is a bacteria that is able to absorb iron and can convert it into a spine made of magnetic magnetite. The bacteria then uses this magnetic magnetite to travel through the environment using magnetic fields. Fact number 8. Iron is abundant throughout the Earth's crust. It is found in materials called magnetite and hematite. These two minerals are different forms of iron oxide. Fact number 9. There are bacteria in the ocean called Halimons titanici, which is eating away at the Titanic. Sadly, it has been estimated that in around 50 years' time, the hull and structure of this great cruise liner will collapse because of this iron-eating bacteria. Fact number 10. If you allow iron and oxygen to react with one another in the presence of water or moisture, a rust, iron oxide, will form. Surface rust tends to be quite flaky and can peel off surfaces very easily. Fact number 11. Iron oxidizes incredibly fast, which means it's rarely found in its purest metal form on the Earth's surface. To get iron, it has to be removed from rocks, ores, containing important minerals and elements. Fact number 12. If you think Jaime Lannister's golden hand was cool from Game of Thrones, then how about his real life counterpart? A German knight called Gotz von Berchling was robbed of his hand in 1504, so he had it replaced with an iron prosthetic. Contrary to how unbelievable this seems, the knight was able to pick up anything from a sword and shield to a pen and a feather with his new hand. Fact number 13. Contrary to how it might seem, iron actually only hardens once it has been through the smelting process. Pure elemental iron is actually relatively soft and a shiny silver grey colour. Fact number 14. Pilbara region, Australia, is the largest iron ore mining area in the world. According to reports, up to 95% of Australia's iron ore is found there. Fact number 15. When using cast iron skillets to cook, the amount of iron in the food may increase by 850% from its original iron content. Cast iron pots are good at conducting heat from the stove to the meat. However, copper pots are better. Fact number 16. According to a report, the Cambrian explosion, development of complex organisms, can be explained because of the organisms adapting to the increased levels of calcium and iron that leaked into the oceans from the eroding rock layers. The Cambrian explosion was a period of time 54 million years ago. It is known as the Cambrian explosion because this was the first complex organisms exploding into life on the Earth. Fact number 17. 20 milligrams of iron per kilogram in our bodies is toxic and 60 milligrams is deadly. Iron poisoning is largely associated with people eating too much iron that is in food. According to reports, there are no known accounts of iron poisoning because a person has been mining iron ore. Fact number 18. According to reports, spinach iron's content was actually marked incorrectly on records. Someone misplaced the decimal point when calculating the iron content. Good old Popeye has been popping spinach for years and years, but did you know that the well-known character might have been popping the wrong food for all those years? People genuinely believe that spinach was 10 times more iron-rich than it actually was. Fact number 19. Iron is crucial for life as we know it. As humans, we need iron to help transfer oxygen into the blood, hemoglobin, and plants need iron for chlorophyll. Fact number 20. Iron is the primary ingredient, along with concrete, of nearly every man-made structure on Earth. Modern buildings, though seemingly devoid of iron, actually have a lattice of metal bars running through them, known as rebar. Fact number 21. According to scientists, there is an asteroid in our solar system called 16 Psyche, which has enough metal to fuel Earth's iron consumption for millions of years. In comparison, the Earth is said to have as little as a century of mineable iron left on or close to its surface. Fact number 22. Foods high in iron include red meats, fish, beans, tofu, and chickpeas. Interestingly, iron tablets often get mistaken for being sweets because of their shape. Fact number 23. Iron isn't always magnetic. Two other metals that are not magnetic are gold and silver. Fact number 24. Iron has a grey appearance and is generally soft and shiny. In fact, iron is so soft you can easily scratch it with a block of granite stone. The reason for this is that the granite contains lots of quartz, which is far harder than iron. Fact number 25. In the ocean, there is a sea snail which uses iron sulfide to create a skeletal-like material. It uses this material to create its shell. Fact number 26. To make a point about the amount of CO2 in the air, an American businessman illegally dropped 100 tons of iron sulfate into the waters just off the coast of Canada. His aim was to promote the growth of plankton that is actually capable of absorbing CO2 from the air, thus creating cleaner air for us. This is still one of the greatest environmental re-engineering projects in the world to date. Fact number 27. Given that iron is used pretty much everywhere and has multiple uses, you'd be right to assume that iron is relatively cheap to buy. Iron can be used for everything, from making bridges to making vitamin supplements. Fact number 28. Iron is considered a more modern material than bronze. Bronze is actually harder than iron. The reason why bronze is not favoured over iron is that the base materials that make the bronze alloy, such as tin, nickel and zinc, are not as readily available as iron. Fact number 29. The Bronze Age didn't die out because the Iron Age weaponry was better. The Bronze Age ended simply because iron was more readily available and because man learned how to extract it from its mineral form. It wasn't until much later that steel was accidentally discovered when iron mixed with carbonised wood material. Fact number 30. Iron's melting point is 1535 Celsius. Its boiling point is 2862 Celsius. Fact number 31. Most asteroids that quietly circle our solar system have vast amounts of iron. However, it's uneconomical to mine this iron because it costs so much to rocket the mining machinery to an asteroid, and even more to fly the iron back. Fact number 32. A 2-ton steel manhole cover was shot out of the Earth's atmosphere during an underground nuclear test in Los Alamos in the 1950s. The steel manhole cover was said to be travelling at an astonishing speed of 41 miles per second. Easily enough to escape the Earth's and the Sun's gravitational pull, it's likely this modest manhole cover was the first ever man-made object to leave the solar system. Fact number 33. There is a vast amount of iron swirling around the inner and outer core of the Earth. The inner core of the Earth is solid and made up of iron and nickel. However, the outer core is liquid, and this massive ball of iron, if you could see, would be roughly twice the size of the moon. Fact number 34. If you're an engineer in Canada, you'll have to wear an iron ring on your dominant hand. Why? Many wear this ring as a constant reminder of the obligations and ethics associated with the profession. Fact number 35. Painted, coating with plastic, and galvanized, coated with zinc, iron are the major ways industry prevent iron from rusting. Surface rust is not generally a problem, however, rust expands when it forms, so if there are any cracks, even microscopic cracks in the iron, the rust will form in the cracks and prise it apart, and that's what causes failure to occur. Fact number 36. During the 1960s, a test was proposed that would have involved sending a probe to the centre of the Earth using nukes and millions of tons of iron. Apparently, this wacky idea would have involved detonating a nuclear bomb close to the surface to create a giant crater. Then, here comes the genius part, scientists would then pour millions of tons of iron into the hole in the hope that this massive iron would sink to the centre of the Earth. And while all this was going on, a little scientific probe would ride the wave of iron all the way down. Fact number 37. All the iron that exists throughout the universe was created in stars such as our own Sun. Through the process of stellar nucleosynthesis, iron is created by the fusion of other atoms into a single iron atom. Fact number 38. The popular Iron Pillar of Delhi is a pillar that was erected 1,600 years ago, which is completely rust-proof. It cannot rust because there is an even layer of crystalline iron hydrogen phosphate forming, which protects it from the Delhi climate. Fact number 39. According to researchers, the Earth's core is roughly made up of iron and nickel alloy. Additionally, it is proposed that on this giant liquid ball floats millions of kilometers high carbon crystals, or in other words, diamonds. Fact number 40. Iron is one of the easiest materials to recycle. For every 1 ton of steel recycled, we conserve 1,250 grams of iron ore, 650 grams of coal, and 150 kilograms of limestone. Fact number 41. Puddle iron was used to build the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. Puddle iron is a kind of wrought iron which has a very low carbon content. Fact number 42. Cast iron is a kind of iron that contains carbon, silicon, and small amounts of magnesium, generally used in history to build structures like cast iron bridges, but most of it has been replaced by steel. Fact number 43. Cast iron was produced first in China in 550 BC. It was not formally used in Europe until the medieval times. Fact number 44. Iron can oxidate into different states. One of the primary oxidization states that we often encounter is a simple and everyday rust. Fact number 45. In Russia, there is a mountain called Magnitogorsk. The mountain is made almost entirely of iron. It is estimated that the mountain is home to around 7 to 10 billion pounds of iron ore. Fact number 46. Wrought iron is iron in its purest form. According to research, wrought iron contains 0.12 to 0.25% carbon. Fact number 47. It is highly likely that you will see iron being used in the cores of electric transformers, generators, and motors. They use this material because it is known as the soft magnetic material. Soft magnets are magnets that are easily magnetized and demagnetized. Fact number 48. Iron has a density of 7.847 grams centimeter cubed. To compare this to water, iron is almost 8 times heavier. Fact number 49. Beryllium is the Latin name for iron. Fe, iron's periodic table symbol, was derived from its Latin name. Fact number 50. Planets that are classified as giants, like Jupiter, generally have an iron core. It is said that Jupiter's core sits at a scandalizing temperature of about 24,000 Celsius. That's well over 3 times hotter than the surface of the Sun. And that was 50 facts about iron. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more amazing facts. And if you still haven't had your fact fix, try watching some of these videos. And if you have any suggestions for topics you'd like us to cover, please leave a comment down below.